New York, New York. It's a city up to interpretation. Vibrant and exhilarating, or noisy and hectic. Depending on who you ask, you can hear 9 million ways to speak its name. I'm Colman Domingo, an actor, director, playwright, and producer. You are here in New York as I visit longtime friends.
Let's do this!
You are insane!
Come on!
And one of my first loves, Broadway.
It's God's work, you know. I'm just the vessel.
New York helped me go all in as I left my mark on the theater scene.
Love you.
I know its softer side, a side that lifted me up when I needed a boost. The side that holds inspiration on every street corner. This is the New York that gave me a community, a world I created with the people who I believe in. Walk with me. I'd love to show you around. Passing Strange saved my life. It truly did. However you may classify it. A Broadway musical, a black musical, an autobiographical musical about self-discovery. It was a space for me and the entire cast to be creatively and individually ourselves. After 165 thrilling performances, the play thankfully lives on forever through film, directed by the iconic Spike Lee. To have a role in this groundbreaking musical was to exist outside of expectation. It had that effect on all of us. And by all of us, I mean Chad Goodridge, Rebecca Naomi Jones, Deidre Aziza, Issa Davis, and Daniel Breaker. It was a special moment in time, a period where we could embrace our true selves, talents, and skills.
We have had some lives, we've seen some things, and it's so beautiful to see everybody is still the same. You know, maybe a little less cartilage.
After 16 years, we are finally sitting down to break bread, laugh, and sing, just like we did all those years ago.
It's so lovely to see the Alterna Negroes back together.
Wait. Cassie.
But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at the beginning. New York City is a place I thought I'd never leave. Until I did. And now that I'm back, I'm filled with an intense nostalgia that sends me back to an emotional space I haven't experienced in a very long time. I remember nights working as a bartender, my first job in New York. I live right above it in Manhattan Plaza, a residential building specifically for those working in the performing arts. And it's where I spent almost a decade.
And there's my old apartment. It's nice to be back.
I came to New York to be in a place that scared and challenged me. Living, working, and dreaming just minutes away from Manhattan's theater district made it easy for me to find inspiration. It was everywhere. Its lights kept me company as I was sharpening my craft and walking in my purpose. I didn't do it alone. I had a community that was there for me, no matter where I traveled.
Come on, New Jersey versus Philly in the house. You got your whole
Deidre and I both made a move from California around the same time.
Wait, what are you?
Let's do this!
You are insane!
Come on!
We come from very similar backgrounds, growing up as Northeast neighbors in New Jersey and Philly. And we relate to one another on a number of levels.
Oh, shit! Okay, you play hard.
I'm from Jersey. Everything is hard.
Deidre is such a bright light and an incredible actress. And that musical I mentioned earlier, Passing Strange, we starred in that together. On and off stage, we've always had each other's back.
Oh, shit!
My bad.
I mean, most of the time. Wall Ball is another story altogether.
Why so hard? Oh my God! That was a good one, though. You were the first person that I bonded with. We both were dealing with different things. You were coming back. You're coming back into the business, right? From like after
Well, I was leaving my 5-year-old to start kindergarten and go off and act, and I felt so irresponsible.
And I just lost my mother.
Yeah.
And so we were coming in like, what is this?
And here we are.
And here we are.
Yeah.
You and I are like ride or die.
I think it's like it's a kindred spirit thing of who we came from. You know, we just like,
We see each other.
yeah, we see the same spirit in each other, and that's either just there or it's not.
Yeah, you can't
Manufacture that. Nah. See, jinx.
Jinx.
So remember how I knew you were leaving New York?
It's like you were like sniffing around like, y'all moving. We're like, no, we're not. We're not moving at all. We just like got some new furniture and we had zero intention of leaving New York. But you were like, you guys are moving.
I just felt it, you know? I just knew that you had grown out of the New York energy.
When you said it, I was like, why would she say that? New York is my lady. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna break up with her.
No, well, you could be a polygamist.
But you helped me realize that hey, I can love where I am.
Even though I left New York, I know that the right people move forward with you, evolving to fit in every stage of your life.
New York still loves you. New York is always here. But when you have this destiny, then you can't just stay in one place just because you have a feeling for it.
You gotta change.
Yeah, you have to evolve.
Well, I always thank you for that because you've always been fearless when it comes to me evolving, and I with you. You know that.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is I think we're mirrors to each other. We hold each other accountable.
Well,
So you
that's
see
real
who you are.
friendship.
Yeah.
You know, honesty, accountability, and that's why we lasted this long.
Oh, my God.
We still together. We still together. Now somebody help me out.
Oh, my body, my whole body.
A quick visit to Brooklyn will help me connect with another good friend of mine. The pandemic had kept us away, so the last time we spoke was over FaceTime. So an in-person meeting was long overdue.
Welcome to my neighborhood. There's trees.
Very unlike Manhattan.
Yes, there's significantly fewer rats.
I haven't seen one since I've gotten to this borough. How charming.
In 2006, I debuted on Broadway. It was a little play called Well by Lisa Crone. I happened to be the understudy for a fellow actor, a bright, shining star named Daniel Breaker.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too, brother. I love you so much.
It's been ages.
Then we start together in another Broadway musical, Passing Strange. Are you noticing a pattern yet?
Yeah, one more. I'm really tired. When's lunch?
Oh, yeah, you got rich plans.
Oh, my God.
This place is a happy place. This is also my favorite. Like, we guys put that sign out.
Fresh
like,
fish
that's
is
like-
not cheap. Cheap fish is not fresh.
Just a reminder before you come in here, check your wallet and your attitude when you walk in here.
That's brilliant. It's true.
Daniel is an incredible chef. I thought it would be a great idea to get the Passing Strange crew together for dinner. So we headed over to Fishtails, a quintessential Brooklyn market, and also one of Daniel's favorite places to shop for ingredients.
What are you guys doing tonight? You doing a paella?
We're doing a seafood paella with some duck. We're doing a tuna tartare.
Very nice.
We're doing a pavlova. We're doing a soup. We're doing a lot of things.
What's a pavlova?
Picture like a big ass meringue with like a bunch of fresh fruit on there, a little whipped cream. But you know, I'll up it a little bit.
But you always up it.
That's what I do.
Makes me angry.
So we got razor clams, 2 pounds,
Yes.
5 pounds head-on shrimp, 2 pounds of manillas, 2 pounds of mussels, 4 jars of clam juice, pound and a half of tuna,
Great.
and that nice, tasty trout roe. I see you brought the mussel.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
He's good for something, I see. There it is.
Beautiful, beautiful. So yes, lift from the lower back in a sharp, jerking motion.
God! Don't film this!
This dinner is more than just pavlovas and paella. Although I ain't mad at it. Sometimes, when you become so passionate about your art, the stakes seem very, very high. So high that when you experience the lows, it can knock you off your feet. It's easy to lose track of the mission, that initial spark that drives all of us to pursue our craft in the first place. This is where community comes in. Daniel's food has always filled us up, both figuratively and literally, when the hustle left us empty. That is one of his many gifts as an artist.
What?
I mean, that's beautiful.
That's absolutely gorgeous.
What is even happening?
This is a tuna tartare.
My God.
There's some trout caviar, there's some blood orange, there's some plum wine, there's some dashi. There's a few things in there.
Dashi.
When did you realize that this was a gift from the Lord?
4 hours ago.
I remember you cooked for us when we were doing the show.
Yeah,
like there were
sure.
some parties you would have at your house
Yeah.
on the roof. And
Yeah. There was always a curiosity of cooking food. And then just being disappointed by my first job. It was like, I just found myself going back into the kitchen, right? Like being like stranded out in the artist world, right? Just being lost in auditions and being told to be like more urban, like not getting these parts and being discouraged. And the thing that I always felt myself going to was either not good stuff, sort of like that was like a gateway to depression, or cooking. Like I would just go back and like cook something.
It's a gift. I taste God in your food.
I always think this is the way you show love.
yeah.
You don't text me back, but that's okay, because you invite me for food. Oh, no.
Passing Strange knocked down walls and introduced a different face to Broadway, which led a path for many shows coming after it, like Hamilton, and a Broadway show I recently produced, Fat Ham.
I can put it into words now, I think. I know for sure if a show did what we did and how we changed Broadway, and it was like there was no incredible offers, and I do think if we looked differently, things would have been different.
I don't know if we've ever fully had a conversation about the disappointment of like doing so well critically and being a spiritual experience for us inside of it, but feeling like it didn't get what it deserved. It's just like such a mixture of things. Like there's so much love, so much confirmation and affirmation that we were able to do this thing, which was so bizarre for Broadway and for the institution of theater.
There's a freedom that existed on that stage. Every single night, we channeled a rawness into these characters and performances. It didn't need to be perfect. It just had to be real.
I remember after that show thinking I could bring that energy to other things and being like, oh, I can't really. Like, we're gonna button this off.
Absolutely, absolutely. The big disappointment.
I mean, I have met so many people who have said, I didn't know I could be Black and an artist until I saw Passing Strange. Even when things feel like they've been erased. Or haven't gotten the glow and the shine, it's still this kind of subterranean force. You know, that ripples and turns into a wave, you know?
Absolutely.
There's something that is just so special about what we did, and the fact that it was all of us. Every single one of us is a supernova.
When young people say, oh, I want a career like yours, I'm like, you really want a career like mine? This is not what you want.
No.
You want the work and the building and the community and the people that you go on this journey with and the heartache. And maybe that's part of the blessing as well. As Black performers, we have to constantly reinvent, create for ourselves, make ways out of no way. I think it helps us dig in deeper with our relationship to the work, I think, because we're like, there's no promises. And, you know, I'll create a play for myself, write something when nothing's happening or they can't figure out what to do with us. Well, we figure out, I will write something that has something to do with us. I will create this. I'll have a theater company. I will do these things. And maybe that's the gift and of longevity.
Sure.
In this business.
We all had a lot of hope for our futures on Broadway. We soon realized that the entertainment industry world may not be our entire oyster. We had to find ways to keep on pushing, keep stretching our boundaries, and design versions of our own success. I wouldn't be here without my support system, truly. Family, friends, colleagues, mentors, and mentees. All loved ones that have grounded me and reminded me to stay the course, to believe.
Do you know that you're a legend?
No, I do not.
Do you not accept that moniker, or do you like...
I do not accept it.
This is Susan Stroman. Whether or not she accepts the title, she is indeed a bona fide Broadway legend. A 5-time Tony Award-winning director and choreographer, Susan is best known for her musicals New York, New York, The Producers, Crazy for You, and The Scottsboro Boys, a musical that I happen to star in.
Still in my shim sham.
Yeah.
And you go,
Shim sham.
Shim sham. You always give me that shim sham.
She directed a play that I wrote for the Vineyard Theater called Dot. And I'm so proud to not only call Susan a mentor, but family.
You're my touchstone to New York, and you still make your life here in New York.
Well, I love New York. There's no greater place than New York. And people come to New York to change who they are and to be the best at what they can be.
I think you come to New York to hope that not only the city changes you, but you'll meet people who's going to change you, and that you're going to take them with you. And I feel like that's the thing. Even though I live in LA now, I know you're my family and my community here. So I know whenever I'm here, I know I have a meal, I have some laughter, I have some good theater. You know?
Absolutely.
And we keep fueling each other.
We keep fueling each other, absolutely. I often think back to that very first day we met when you came in to audition for the Scottsboro Boys.
That show made us all activists with our art. It really did, because we had to stand like, what are we meaning? What are we doing? How do we want to affect change in the world?
Yes.
That shifted all of us. I know it shifted me in my work.
But it is, what do you give to an audience to affect change? And that show absolutely did. Therefore, we were bonded together because of that show. And then to go on and for me to be able to direct Dot.
And that was your first play, right?
My first play. My first play. I was so honored, and that you allowed me to do that.
And you talk about this. I always have the philosophy now, you've given me that, to say, like, care for the table that you're setting, what you're doing, the people you bring to the table.
Yes.
And I'm very conscious of that, because you always say we go back to the table.
Yes.
And I feel like I've started to prepare my own tables as well.
That's wonderful. When you are in New York, you cross paths with people that change your life forever.
And you really become family.
Yes.
For if love knew what was good for it, it would play it passing for song, fill an empty house with harmony, and play on after things go wrong.
If you don't fit into any seats at the table, get yourself together and build a whole new one.
For those that are still making New York your home, do you continue to reinvent? Do you continue to reinvest? Do you still have hope? Do you still believe?
I mean, I think the way to survive your time in this town, and what I'm realizing is, like, I think I was very much like in a tunnel of like, this is the art. And then I'm realizing now, like, oh no, the art is everywhere.
Yeah. And clay and words and paint. Play on, play on.
No one can tell you not to create, when to do it, or how to do it. That is pure freedom.
Oh my goodness.
As an artist, I am continuously crafting the type of art I'd like to reach people, shift perspectives, change lives, and hopefully,
I love it.
I know this may sound earnest, change the world. It's what fulfills me and keeps me moving forward.
History. Whew.
Coming back home to New York, I see new dreamers and that familiar spark in their eyes, that one thing they want to create and the hope they have to build it. It's a spark that ignites the city, and I am so glad to be a part of it.